Your landed pricing are the total costs involved in producing and importing your product from China to your warehouse in your sales market. For e-commerce sellers that import from China, you might also want to include Amazon fees and carrier costs for delivering your product to your customer. Why it is important to calculate your landed cost when importing from China? Working out your landed cost allows you to determine if the profit margins from importing your product are sufficient and sustainable. Landed costs also act as a basis for price negotiation with your suppliers. If your landed costs only allow for a 5% profit margin compared with the lowest selling price in your market, you have probably done a poor job of sourcing and price negotiation. How to work out your landed costs? Accurately calculating your landed costs when you're importing from China can be complicated, but as I mentioned before, it's a step that you should not skip. It is best to base your landed costs on your projected order volumes, not the factory's minimum order quantities. Suppose you base your decision on whether a product is viable on the landed cost of a minimum order quantity trial order. In that case, you might dismiss a product idea that you would work when ordering larger quantities, for example full container. Remember that freight and quality control costs are much lower when spread across a larger quantity of products per unit. You also have more leverage in price negotiation when buying in large quantities. To work out your landed cost, you will need this information: an accurate quote from your Chinese supplier that includes Incoterms, port of loading, product details and pricing, overall packaging size, total cubic meters of order, the currency of quote and shipment type, an up-to-date quote from your freight forwarder and customs clearance agent that includes freight costs from the port of loading to the port of discharge, local charges in the country of import, local duty rates, tracking costs and local taxes, your actual currency and exchange rate costs, which are different from the trading price. For simplicity, as we go through the landed cost formula and examples, I assume you are purchasing FOB from your supplier. FOB is the standard Incoterm that most importers from China use. However, if you want to learn about Incoterms, you should watch this video. The simple landed cost formula is buying price plus freight cost plus local charges plus duty plus taxes. Buying price, cost of product from your factory and cost of quality control inspections and cost of lab tests for product compliance if relevant. Freight costs. Remember that these rates will vary significantly depending on your shipment type and date. Local charges. Port handling charges, documentation, customs clearance, quarantine, marine transit insurance, domestic tracking and more. Your freight forwarder and customs broker can give you estimates of these costs. Duty. Supply your SH code to your freight forwarder or customs broker. They will give you the rate of duties applicable to the importation of your product. In addition, you can get the SH code for your product from your supplier, government websites, or online search tools. Taxes. You will need to understand your country's relevant local taxes and how they apply to imported goods. For e-commerce sellers, you should also factor in your Amazon or eBay sellers fees, postage and storage fees, and allow for a 1 to 3% write-off for defective products. Alright, then I will explain what you need to do before placing the order to import from China. See you there.